Merry Christmas from the Western Front. Whew, it's cold out here, but I've got a story to tell you. Now, some of you may not believe it, but it's as true as I'm sitting here. It's the story of Christmas 1914. Now, it was tough in the trenches, it was bitterly cold, but those at home, they were certainly thinking of us. So, Princess Mary, she sent every man a gift tin. And those at home, well, they got knitting. Sent men gloves and scarves and balaclavas. I got sent one, nice one, knitted from home. And I was also sent my old university scarf. And my good lady wife saw from our son's Boy's Own magazine that they could send sports equipment to the front too. So she thought, wouldn't it be nice to send out a football so that my chaps could have a kick around when they weren't in the line. Trouble was, the ball arrived when we were stuck in the trenches. So I didn't think we'd get much of a chance to have a kick about. Well, here's the interesting part of the story. It all begins on Christmas Eve. Now, the Germans started singing. They used to sing The Watch on the Rhine. That was very popular. Now, to us, that sounded like a bit of a dirge. We didn't like that one very much. So we started singing back at them. We sang Silent Night. Well, the Germans started singing back with their version of Silent Night too. Of course, they sang the wrong words. Or it might have been that they were singing in their own language. Well, we pulled their legs and they pulled ours. And around about midnight, they shouted, "Merry Christmas, Tommy!" And dear old Eddie Hoy, now he's our sergeant. He was a wonderful man, and he used to play penny whistle. And he played all sorts of tunes, and the Germans shouted out, "Play Home Sweet Home." And so he did. And that kind of brought a little bit of home to us on that perishing cold night. Now, come Christmas Day morning, it was rather misty. We couldn't see the German lines very easily. But what looked odd, it looked like there were figures walking on top of their lines. Well, I thought, what on earth is going on there? We better go and investigate. So we sent out Knocker Warminger. Now, Knocker was a pre-war boxer, and he took a couple of his mates, and then that looked all right. So I followed on, I tucked that football underneath my arm, and as I walked across, this big German came over, and he had something in his hand. He said, "Merry Christmas, Tommy!" So I put my football down. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my flask of brandy. And there, in the middle of no man's land, we shook hands, shared a drink, and some chocolate. One of the other Germans even had a camera and took our photograph. And do you know what? He didn't speak bad English either. And between the two of us, we kind of got to learn a little bit about each other. Well, we both saw that we were dads and we had children. They certainly weren't monsters. And then I thought, why not? Now, it wasn't any sort of formal football game, but when lads get together, they've always had a kick about, and so I threw the ball amongst it, and they had a kick about. It was great between the trenches. You've never seen anything like it. There were bottles of drink that came out, there were mouth organs, the old penny whistle and an accordion. It was a little bit of magic. Well, it couldn't go on forever, and we soon heard that the high-ups didn't like it. The field telephones were jangling, so we had to go back to our lines. But do you know what? That was something special. Watch that sun go down. There was hope. There was hope that one day there would be peace on earth again. Merry Christmas, everybody. And don't forget the Christmas Truce of 1914.